Hello from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. We are in Proverbs. We've been looking at the difference between wisdom and foolishness, and glad that you joined us today. We know that wisdom comes from God and following God's way. So let's jump right into it. Proverbs 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. A full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to a hungry soul everything bitter is sweet. As a bird wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so does the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. Neither go to thy brother's house in the day of calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on, and are punished. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge for him for the strange woman. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand which bewrayeth itself. Iron sharpeneth iron, so man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. As in water, face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. As the finding pot for silver and the furnace for gold, so is man to his praise. Though thou shouldst bray a fool in mortar among the wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. Be thou diligent to the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? The hay appeareth, and tender grass sheweth itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, the goats are for the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance of thy maidens. To me, this is a super practical chapter of Proverbs. Just ways to act. Hey, you've got friends close by. Don't go to a brother far away. They'll comfort you. Your friends will tell you the truth. Your enemies are going to kiss up to you. Hey, if you're full, even the sweet things in life don't seem great. But if you're hungry, just about anything will do. Excuse me. I mean, it's just fairly straightforward here. We got, for about the fourth or fifth time, comparison to a contentious woman just being a miserable situation. So both, watch out, men who are dating. Don't be with a contentious woman. Two, ladies, don't be a contentious woman. Doesn't mean you can't have a disagreement. That doesn't mean you can't be reasonable, but someone who is constantly contentious, no. Iron sharpening iron. So one man sharpens another. Super famous one there. And I kind of like that it's sharpening the countenance, sharpening who you are and who you appear to be. I liked that. Slight turn of phrase there. And of course, just be diligent with your flocks and your herds, and know how things are going. Don't be lazy. We've seen that quite a few times through Proverbs here. So again, nice batch of Proverbs. Some pretty famous lines in there. And of course, wisdom in God's way. Well, let's jump into Proverbs 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. For the transgression of a land, many are the princes thereof. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, the state thereof shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. That's exactly what we're talking about. Wisdom comes from God. Better is the poor that walketh in uprightness than he that is perverse in his own ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shames his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance shall gather it for him that will take pity on the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Ouch. Ouch. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor hath understanding. That hath understanding searcheth him out. When righteous men rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Big distinction there. Let's forsake the sin. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man stay him. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread even a man will transgress. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall soon come on him. He that rebuketh a man afterward shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, It is no transgression, the same is the companion of the destroyer. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. Definitely a compliment there. Maybe not to Americans, but that's a compliment. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. Love that line. If you trust your own heart, you're a fool. But walk wisely according to God's ways, and you'll be fine. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he who hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Again, this is great. This is just great. Definitely talking us through this comparison, foolishness and righteousness. What would a wise man do? What would the wicked do? I mean, it just continues to point it out. And once again, you just can't help but see that we should be being wise and following God. How many times do they need to put it? Over and over and over. Wisdom comes from God. Wisdom comes from God. Wisdom comes from God. I mean, if that's one thing you get from Proverbs, your life will be better if you put wisdom into action, if you put God's commands into action. That's it, my friends. That's the whole point of Proverbs. So, I know we've got a few chapters left, but that I can guarantee you will be the point of those chapters too. So, just keep plugging away, putting God's word into practice, and your life will improve. Thanks for joining us today, my friends, and we'll catch you next time.